Right, so looking at our first question about the historical impacts of events since 2020 that have had an effect on organizational psychology, it would have to be one of the largest and most influential was the COVID-19 pandemic of 2020. Here we are 5 years later after COVID-19 kicked off, and we're still trying to understand the implications of what that meant to the workforce. Definitely affected the job market. It affected employers and the way they conducted their businesses. Many businesses shut their doors completely and closed down. And for those that did not close completely, they did have to adopt some form of remote work or telework options because people couldn't come into the office because of social distancing protocols. And so they had to kind of look at how they had been doing business and adjust for that. And so many employees, specifically women that had quit or had worked from home to try to take care of their families, they walked away completely from the workforce. And so some of those have not come back and they remained at home with their family. And so uh, that fallout is still ongoing and we're still being researched. And so a lot of research went into this remote work phenomenon within this the organizational psychology world and its effectiveness. How do employers implement these policies? They never had anything like this before, so how do they go about doing it? Is it possible to do this effectively? And is this a program that we can offer employees as an incentive to stay within an organization as well? And so FAM at all in 2023, they did research and it was aimed at improving output from employees that were participating in remote work uh, opportunities. And they found that just by the employer having this type of a program in place to offer to employees, that it can build a sense of trust that employers actually care about their employees, and then it increases job satisfaction. And so, COVID-19, while it was terrible and it was a difficult time, it also kind of pushed that to the forefront that employee lives outside the office do matter, and the non-work lives of employees do carry over inside the office as well. And so these extraneous circumstances need to be considered, and it needs to be understood that they do affect employee well-being and overall job satisfaction. And so Aaron Cohen, he did some research and demonstrated that uh, just by a employer acknowledging the fact that employees have lives outside the office, it can increase their positive attitudes toward the organization. And consequently, the reverse is also true. If employers just simply ignore the fact that employees have lives outside the office and those lives don't seem to matter as much as the in office type lives, then that also builds a distrust within the organization. Employees are more likely to walk away from that organization. And so uh, a lot of studies have been done to start to look at this in more detail within organizational psychology. And so managing that work-life balance is very essential and important. And employees have actually shown that even though the remote work option does have the possibility to bring additional work to them, they are more willing to do that, specifically women, uh, for the added benefit and the flexibility that they do possess. So you can't get away from your work when you work from home. It's constantly there, but people are showing that they are more willing to work those additional hours just to have the flexibility of staying at home and taking care of the family there. So, in addition to COVID, the last two presidential elections have had the two oldest individuals in American history elected as presidents. And so organizational psychology has also looked at, you know, look at re-examining age, cognitive decline, age-related discrimination in the workplace. The studies have shown since 2020 that COVID-19 actually increased those stereotypes toward older individuals and portraying them as weak and vulnerable, and it could have exacerbated really the age-related discrimination in the workforce. So that's some of the things that the organizational psychology has been looking into these last 5 years or so.